My name is Nic Reagan, and I'm a graduate student in historical archaeology. Dr. Champagne in the history department is my sponsor for this project. The title of my project is A Weighty Metal, Lead Poisoning in the Middle Ages. I chose the word weighty, not just because lead is literally one of the heaviest metals. It's also a word that implies burden, seriousness, and importance. The legacy of lead, particularly during the Middle Ages, was indeed consequential in a number of terrible ways. The use of lead likely not only caused the illnesses of lead poisoning, but may have contributed to social instability, maybe even the decline of Rome. The problem with lead is that it's toxic to the human body and has absolutely no known metabolic function. Its toxicity wasn't widely understood until well into the 19th century. Unfortunately, the people of the past made use of lead without realizing its dangerous effects, and it was lead's toxic properties that often made it useful in the first place. Lead was extremely popular in the Roman period, and it's during this time that its mining and production skyrocketed. In fact, ice cores taken in Greenland show a jump in atmospheric lead concentrations during the Roman period due to its extensive use. Lead poisoning causes gout, stomach pain, atrophy of limbs and the loss of their use, infertility and loss of pregnancy, mental decline, and coma and death in the most acute cases. One of the reasons few people in the past recognized lead was causing all of these symptoms was because they are all problems caused by other diseases. In fact, lead poisoning has been called the aping disease due to its ability to be confused with other causes. So how was it that people in the Middle Ages came into contact with enough lead to result in disease and death? The primary category was food and drink, particularly sapa, which was a sweet wine reduction made in leaded vessels to add sweetness. The second most common source was occupational, mining and craft production, for example. Finally, medicines and cosmetics. Ironically, lead was often used to try to cure the very diseases it was causing. Because many of the primary mechanisms for lead poisoning in the Middle Ages were more common among the elite, it's possible that widespread lead poisoning may have contributed to socio-political instability, although the archaeological evidence on this question is mixed. In conclusion, documentary and archaeological evidence do indicate high amounts of lead use in the Middle Ages. It certainly caused widespread lead poisoning based on our current knowledge of the effects of lead on the human body. Did it cause the decline of Rome or larger social disequilibrium during the Middle Ages? That remains to be proven, although it's plausible. While today we recognize the dangers of lead, we still continue to use it for a variety of purposes. It is even now causing cases of lead poisoning all over the world. The legacy of lead continues. It remains a so-called weighty metal to this very day.